Welcome back, YouTube. Today we're going to be watching another Brandon Herrera video. This time we're doing some more cursed gun images. Without further ado, let's get into it. Oh no, he's dead! Oh no, he's fine. He was just taking a nap. He's fine. Ah, he's just drunk.
God. What the fuck happened? Oh, God.
Man, getting drunk around that many firearms? Bold.
Oh, cursed gun images. What the fuck is that? What the
What? Is that donut operator? Okay, really? Okay. He again looks like donut operator looks like a walrus. Okay, the way he has his neck like that and the mustache, donut operator again looks like a walrus. Okay, he's a handsome man, but sometimes when you just stop his head movement in the right action, when he had that mustache, just like, that's a walrus.
I don't remember recording this. Well, I guess it's time to film another cursed gun images.
The production value, I love it.
Fuck.
I love it. I love the production value he does.
What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers, and welcome back to a
like other YouTubers like myself who doesn't put too much into the openings because I just don't have the time or anything. I put it into my other channel. But for other channels, they would just be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna be doing some memes," and then they go to the memes and then they laugh, and they go to the next meme, then they laugh, and they go to the next meme, and then they laugh. But no, he's gonna put a whole cool intro in the start of it. Good for him. Good for him. Like I'm eating my own words. I didn't put in much intro stuff into the intro. Now did I? But he's on a whole nother level. I'm not like him.
another episode
He's
of
way
Cursed
better.
Gun Images. I'm your host, Brandon Herrera, and this is the segment where you guys have sent me cursed guns that you've found all over the internet. Cursed guns, being guns that are just designed super wacky, have been bubbed to high hell.
What is
or
bubbed?
Just all around real fucked up. You guys have sent in your submissions.
Hey Travis,
and I found
we're
a few of
English.
my own, so as Gen Z says, let's fucking go. First up, what happens when you have a band practice at 3 but a shooting match at 5?
Huh?
You get this big iron. Or big woodwind. Also known as the, and I'm proud of this one, Rudy Tooty Flutie Shooty.
Oh my
I actually have
god.
no idea what the fuck this is. Yeah, I mean, it clearly
I love
doesn't
it, though.
look like a functional firearm of any kind. I'd assume not a functional flute either, but who knows? The only thing that
That's a legendary weapon that can be used by the Bard class and the Bard class only. Oh, you're just a Bard. What are you gonna do? Hit me with your loot? Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Hubbard. Bing, bing. And then it just makes musical notes. It doesn't shoot bullets. It shoots musical notes. He has to shoot it in a specific way to make the music go. And if he messes up a note, it does less damage. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. Where do you put your mouth on that thing? You don't want to know. You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
I know it is kind of neat. But moving on. Up next,
Whoa!
Yo Dog, I heard you like optics.
What the
Also
fuck?
known as every cursed Tarkov build I've ever seen. But seriously, count the scopes and lasers he's got on this thing. Seeing the target is not a problem for this man. In fact, this motherfucker could probably see into the future.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? I think there's like wait, that's not a scope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9? There's a lot. there's a lot going on right there. I love it. I love it. This reminds me of that one image that you know everybody has probably seen, where someone takes a bunch of camera equipment and then they lay it out in a way that it looks like a gun, and they were like, "Wow, look at the stuff that you could get on a flight nowadays," and it's literally just camera equipment in the shape of a gun. And then there will be people who take the bait and go like, "Oh my god, what is this country coming to? You shouldn't be allowed to have that. That you shouldn't be allowed to have that." It's like, it's a camera, my guy. It's a camera. That's not a gun. It's just in the shape of it.
My favorite part is what appears to be the reflection
Bubba,
of
firearm
a
is to
trailer
permanently
in
ruin
one of those
a historical
He
firearm.
probably had to sell his house for all of that expensive-ass hardware. But in all seriousness, I'm sure it's not a serious photo. Just a cool picture. Well done. And if it is serious, touch grass. Now up next, we actually have a first for Cursed Gun Images. We have our first viewer-submitted audition for a cursed gun. And by viewer, I'm of course referring to, specifically, the talking balaclava himself, Administrative Results. He has his very own cursed high point that he would like to show off, but first
I like the
need to change
colors.
my t-shirt. Before we go any further, I need to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Mobile Legends Adventure.
Oh
Mobile
my
Legends
God.
Adventure, or MLA, is the best and most relaxing idle
MLA,
adventure. No
multi-level
grinding needed,
marketing.
just
It sounds
log
like
on, play for as
MLM.
little as 10 minutes a day. You can upgrade your weapons using the idle rewards that your heroes collect for you.
Man,
even
I
when
love
you're
playing a
offline.
game that plays
So many
itself.
game
Don't you,
modes and
chat?
Events, MLA has kept me busy for days. Playing the main storyline, I've been in dungeons.
He's never
mazes,
played it.
And even played against a few of my friends.
There's no
You
way
can
he's
collect
played
over
that game.
100 heroes, each with special skills and moves. Fight until you reach the top with your strongest team. Mobile Legends Adventure
Damn,
is
that
now
boob
releasing a
jiggle,
new
though.
annual event called the New Era that brings many fun updates, including the Golden Wishes event, which is perfect for new players because you can complete a series of tasks to unlock a high-level hero of your choice that will help you demolish.
Those are the
foes.
best
There's also
H
the Kids
games.
Garage event, which will include the release of a
Those are the only idle games I understand why people would play. I don't play them myself, but it makes more sense than these other idle games because there's a reason you don't want your hands preoccupied in an H idle game. You want the game to play itself because your hands are doing something else, and that is flipping to the next page of the Holy Bible. Because what else would you be doing? Your hands are meant to flip through the scriptures of the Lord.
new hero, Farsa. Get Farsa for free before this event ends and follow her storyline to earn all the materials you need to level her up. So help me continue bringing you content like
God,
this
I love
by
a woman
clicking the
that
link down
can't
below
see
or
because
even
then she won't see how
scanning the
ugly
QR
I
code
am.
here to download Mobile Legends Adventure today. Also be sure to use my code to get tons of in-game
That is a
rewards.
long
Thanks
code.
to MLA, back to the content. Now without further ado, on to Administrative Results, Cursed Gun.
This right here, this is my problem solver.
Okay, why does this gun look like a type of gun that'll moan each time you shoot it? Those are real. I've seen them. Okay, it doesn't moan.
That's right, this is a crossover episode. Now, while I don't usually condone you guys doing dumb shit to your guns just to try to get on Cursed Gun Images, this one is from the talking balaclava himself, so I really just couldn't pass it up. So, in his own words.
This is my American Idol Cursed Gun audition tape to be on Brandon Herrera's Cursed Gun segment. I thought the time has come to make my very own cursed gun, and damn, this thing's pretty cursed.
Oh my god, I thought it was duct tape for a second. Wait, is that? That is duct tape.
Spray paint along with the pink accent highlights. Okay, then we got this V-Life 3x9x40 optic on here. We got this Ghost Print Tactical. It is a 3D printed airsoft part. I properly named this gun the Problem Solver.
What's kind of disturbing to me is that this is just kind of making me want to do an entire video on high points. So go ahead and leave a comment that includes the phrase problem solver if you'd like to see us do our own high point video.
Oh, welcome, Wayne. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I have a couple of ideas. But between his attachments, color scheme, and the fact that it's just a high point carbine, I would say this definitely qualifies as a cursed gun. Also, just another shout out to Admin Results. He's a really cool dude, up and coming YouTuber, so we want to make sure we show him some love. Go ahead and subscribe to him. And if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to me first and foremost. After all, I'm out here putting my sanity and sobriety on the line for you guys, so it's the least you can do. Now, this next entry actually refers back to an older episode of Cursed Gun Images where we had a Nambu pistol, the Japanese service handgun,
Oh
that
my
had
God.
a sword grafted to the top of it.
That's
Now, this-
sick. Wait, what? Did I skip? I think I skipped an episode. Let me know which episode I missed and I need to go back because I don't remember this. I would have remembered a gun sword. Oh my god, that's awesome. I can't imagine the gun part was very effective, but that is so anime. Oh my god, it reminds me of the weapon that that Squall/Leon would use, the fucking gun revolver blade. I love this. More anime needs this type of gun. Like, literally don't change this design at all. Just put it in some anime game. I need that. That's awesome. I love it. I love this so much. I love it. I love this gun blade.
Seems Japanese as fuck, and I still stand by it. It totally is. But not to be outdone, I found out recently that the Americans had their own version. I present to you a very, very, very custom 1911.
What?
This piece won 2 world wars and several fencing matches.
What?
It looks like it's just very literally a 1911 with kind of a sword and hilt grafted around it. And if that looks weird to you, then I completely agree. But what's weirder is that this was a real fucking thing. This is a rare attachment to the patent saber, which just happens to be it's a fucking 1911. This was a prototype that was apparently made by Rock Island Armory.
I'm tilting my head.
If you think that holding your carry handgun out for long periods of time is heavy, just wait till you try this motherfucker. It even has some sort of crude shoulder stock because you want to be accurate with this thing, I guess. Look, the early 1900s were a weird period for firearm development. Cut them a little bit of slack. The couple of months that the US spent in World War I in the trenches, we kind of figured out you probably either just want a gun or a sword. You don't need a sword.
Sword.
Although it's really cool. Speaking of World War I, one of the iconic handguns of World War I would have been the C96 broom handle Mauser.
Oh, that's
what would
cool.
happen if you took a C96 and combined it with, let's say, the Thompson?
Oh, now you're on the other side, Wayne.
Well, you'd get
And
something
welcome,
that kind of
Mathis.
looked like this. Because back in the day,
Or
you know, if
Matthias,
you're gonna have
sorry.
an auto pistol.
Why does this gun look unfinished? Like, I know that it's added on. This doesn't look... They made a lot of innovations during World War II period. Hey, war, you know that song, War, what is it good for? I can't sing it because I'll get copyright claimed. But you know that one? Like, obviously, I would prefer a world where we just don't have war. But in the reality that we live in, war can lead to a lot of technological advancements. You like those M&Ms? I know at least one of you guys in the future is eating M&Ms right now or has M&Ms downstairs. You wouldn't enjoy those M&Ms if it wasn't for war. They literally invented it because they needed a way to send chocolate to soldiers and they wouldn't melt so that they could get to it. It's like, boom. Now you have M&Ms. You want GPS? You got GPS. You want the Jeep? You got the Jeep. Got all that. It's good. It's good. Just leads to that. I'd prefer if we just didn't have war, but war can lead to a lot of technological advancements and oddly enough can lead to sometimes cultural changes that lead to 2 different cultures adopting from each other that causes a cool cultural mix. It's very interesting.
Might as well have a foregrip to it. After all, the NFA hadn't been invented yet, so who gives a fuck? I do have to say this was originally posted with the title of the Tluger, which just triggers me
All
on so
war
many
is
fucking
based.
levels.
Sun
I get
Tzu.
what you're getting at, the Thompson.
Technically, Sun Tzu did say that, or did write that. He did write, all war is based, if you stop the quote right there.
Luger, or the Tluger. Only it's not a Luger. That is a Luger. This is a broom handle Mauser, which means this would be the Thouser. Or the Mouthson. I don't know. What should this be called? I'll leave that up to you guys. But speaking of the broom handle Mauser, there's our next video. Here we have a C96 broom
What is
handle
this? This
Mauser
looks like
that
a
has been
fucking
outfitted
clockwork gun.
with some sort of belt feed mechanism. You see, pops open the feed tray,
What?
puts the belt right on in, closes it up. Yeah, it's a full auto belt fed Mauser. My
What?
initial reaction upon seeing that is, like, God, this is just bubba as fuck. But like impressively bubba'd. Not just like shittily bubba'd, but like it's actually functional, which is pretty cool. And then of course when I actually clicked on the video and watched it, I realized it was airsoft. Which somehow makes it better and
That's
worse.
pretty cool.
One, okay, it's just an airsoft gun, but at least you didn't have to bubba a real Mauser. I mean, they're 100-plus-year-old guns. You only have so many floating around.
That's some top tier
Still, even
bubba,
the fact
yeah.
that this thing actually works and is advancing the belt and everything. That's kind of cool. Hats off to this dude. This is a pretty neat little project. I feel like I'm liking way too many of these cursed gun images so far. I feel like we need to get into foreign
He's
territory
cursed
here
now.
and get to some stuff that's
My
a
favorite
lot
war
worse.
invention is super glue. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite invention due to war?
My body is ready.
No one say mustard
So,
gas.
really upping the ante, this next entry is, something that a lot of you guys have sent me over the last couple of weeks. It's not often that a cursed gun goes completely viral, but this one went viral because it is just absolutely ridiculous. You've probably seen homemade firearms before, but
What?
I doubt you've seen anything quite like this. Now, as you can tell by
What?
the ruler, these photos probably weren't taken voluntarily by the owner. Thankfully, we do have the full story behind the pistol and how it was obtained, thanks to—
Okay. Before he goes into, why are there so many screws? Okay, I don't know what movie this is, but there was a movie where they're like in a virtual world, and then he gets a gun that's made of organic material, and it shoots teeth. This gun looks like a real version of that. What crackhead made this? This looks like it could also double as a bong, because like he's got little stuff up there, like. My goodness. What the? Where do you even put the round? What? Oh my goodness.
To the Meskwaki Nation Police Department from Iowa. The more names of places I hear in Iowa, the more I'm convinced that Iowa is not a real state, and I have seen very little evidence to prove otherwise. But the post reads, "Dear public and law enforcement agencies, we want to inform you of a public safety and law enforcement matter that came to our attention today. The possessor of this firearm was a felon prohibited from possessing firearms and was previously convicted for possessing firearms.
And
he
meth.
possessed meth. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, no shit.
He possessed meth and was previously convicted for distributing cocaine. TLDR, this guy was super cool at parties. We will not be answering any questions about the circumstances of this firearm seizure or the suspect at this time. Although our officers have dubbed this creation the Smith and Methson, this is no laughing matter."
No, it's
Smith
pretty
and
funny.
Methson.
It's pretty funny.
It's a little bit of a laughing matter. So let's go over what the fuck this Smith and Methson
How?
actually is. Aside from a combination of household items and JB Weld in only a way that a meth head could figure out.
Just
it
imagine-
is an entirely improvised.
Just imagine running into battle with two of those MG Mausers, hitting nothing and getting a headshot. Pretty cool. Oh my goodness. So it loads in there. God, this looks like something you'd see in Fallout 4. You know, those pipe weapons that I refuse to use because they just looked bad. I don't care if they're better than some weapons. I'd rather use a gun that looks better and sucks than one of those pipe pistols in Fallout 4. This is what it looks like. This is something that Bethesda would crack up. While on crack.
That is a double barrel pistol of some sort that uses a Phillips head screwdriver as a firing pin / hammer. According to the Post, it fires 410 gauge shotgun shells, meaning this is only slightly less sketchy than the Taurus Judge. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this, I did not think that this was functional. But apparently, it at least kind of is. At least according to this video that was later released of the gun
I gotta see this.
somewhat functioning.
Okay. Nothing happened.
Now, I assumed it probably wasn't
Oh,
functional.
they
because
didn't
of
load
this
it.
photo where it looks like one of the, primers is completely blown out and the other one's super indented. Just looked like it was, repetitive action over and over again. Not just a single struck round, but something that he was just doing over and over. And then I remembered this guy was pretty fucking high on meth. So repetitive action for something like this is, that's kind of par for the course. You ever get so high on methamphetamine that you start dry firing a spent casing until it disintegrates? Me either, but this guy.
That's how we came up with the atomic bomb. Just put people like to think, oh, it was Einstein, Oppenheimer, all of those really smart guys that made it. Nah, that's just the cover story. That's the cover story because the US government didn't want to actually admit. All they did is they rounded up a bunch of crackheads, put them in a science area with a bunch of technology and beakers and tubes and everything and said, here's some meth, make something. And then boom, they created the atomic bomb. That's the true story, and I'm sticking to it. That's how they did it.
He has. He's also got a decorative side about him as well. He's got a quarter on the back of the hammer there, which is apparently JB welded on along with the other stack of coins. Which is why, aside from possession of methamphetamine and a firearm by a felon, he's also being charged with defamation of currency. But let's be honest with ourselves, he's not really defaming
monkeys
US
and
currency
typewriters
any more than the Federal Reserve does on a daily basis. But the cherry on top of this whole thing has to be the cheap flashlight that is hose clamped to the end of the barrel. Because let's face it, when meth is causing you to stay up for 4 days in a row, you kind of want to be able to see at night. Thank you to everybody who submitted this, because the Smith and Methson is definitely going to earn a spot in the Cursed Gun Images Hall of Fame. Seriously, man. what the fuck? Check on your friends. Because if they've started doing shit like this, it's probably too late. Now, if you're a fan of the channel, well, first of all, you'd be subscribed. And if you think you're subscribed, you might want to double check real quick on that subscribe button, because YouTube's been doing that weird unsubscribe thing lately. But as I was saying, if you're a fan of the channel, you'll know that I am a big lover of belt feds.
They are pretty sick. They take forever to reload, though.
I'm also a lover of revolvers.
Now, I love myself a revolver.
But what if you were to combine belt feds and revolvers? Well, most likely you'd come up with something.
What the hell is this?
As weird as this is, it actually looks like kind of a cool concept. Because the two things that belt feds and revolvers have in common is that the action of the gun is what advances the next round, instead of being like, for example, a magazine-fed weapon where it's just a, you know.
Do your chain hang low? Do it wobble to and fro? Do it shine in the light? Is it platinum? Is it gold? Do you throw it over your shoulder? Something, something. I don't know the rest of the song. Do your chain hang low?
A magazine with a spring that's constantly pushing a new round up to be, you know, fed into the gun. So on basic principles, belt feds and revolvers are a match made in heaven. So as weird as this is kind of a neat concept. What's even neater is that this isn't just a bubbed revolver. After a little bit of digging, this is actually a Jocelyn chain pistol. Yes, this was a real, actual prototype, a 20-shot belt-fed revolver. Maybe it's more technically correct to call it a chain, since it's a complete loop and it's attached at the end instead of a belt, which just is loaded on one side and then, you know, spits out the other side. I'm not really sure what the semantics look like on that. But as much as I want to hate it, it's kind of cool. So now I pose you with a moral dilemma. Let's say you're a boomer in love with the 1911.
Okay.
However, you really want to get into long-range shooting and want a 6.5 Creedmoor precision rifle.
Okay.
Well, now you don't have to choose. Introducing the 6.5 Creedmoor 1911.
Okay, that looks pretty sick.
Nothing says efficiency like taking a 1,000+ yard capable cartridge and putting it into a non-stabilized handgun platform.
It looks cool, though.
Reason. Honestly, memes aside, this is kind of fucking neat, although that scope might be a little optimistic. Plus, it might as well be a 308 or any other rifle cartridge, considering you've got like a 10-inch barrel and 0 points of stabilization aside from the 2 hands God gave you. Plus, the magazine and frame are nowhere near close to big enough to be able to...
Can you imagine the recoil on that thing?
Weapon. Which is good, because 6.5 Creedmoor these days is probably more expensive than shooting 50 BMG. Ask me how I know. So if you've ever wanted to piss off the left and the right at the same time,
I love pissing off people.
You might
that's the correct way to approach it. Don't go with like, I'm just gonna piss off one side. No, piss off both sides. Just troll everybody. Be an equal opportunist troll. Do that always.
might be a libertarian. You also might get a kick out of the glong.
Oh my god.
It's a Glock and a, well, you know. This is listed as both being, well, a Glock frame, but also a device for smoking.
Actually,
only pipe
does it actually shoot?
Despite the insignia on the frame. Now, according to US law, being a habitual user of marijuana would make you a prohibited person from owning a firearm.
Really?
However, it's a pretty good symbolic piece of the libertarian ideal republic, where gay married couples would be able to protect their pot farms with machine guns. And that's something that I can get behind. Despite not being a pot smoker, or being gay, or ever wanting to be married, but I am a connoisseur of machine guns. You know what? Honestly, I don't even know what I was psyching myself up over. Like, this episode of Curse Gun Images hasn't even been that bad. Like,
oh no.
What do we have up next here? We've got...
Oh no. What's it gonna be? Uh-oh.
What the fuck is that?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Poor AK. I know the Forgotten Weapons Cursed Crink was bad, but it's gotta be the worst AK I've ever seen. Kyle, forgive me. I don't want to remember this.
No! God damn it! Come on! Come on! Should we watch the next one?
Only it's not a Luger. That is a Luger.
That's a helmet.
Nope, that is a 1911. Fuck.
Oh no, that's a 1911.
What is up, you sexy YouTube mother
Pause. All right. Okay. I think we're going to watch the next one, but I'm going to do the outro and I'm going to go and pee. So people watching, be on the lookout for the next episode of it. Okay. That's coming out. Be on the lookout for the next one. But you know, for right now, I'm going to do the outro. And thank you all for watching in the future on YouTube. And, you know, like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. Maybe come by the live stream live. And yeah, but until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day in the future YouTube land. And remember, stay awesome.